Mackay Premier League darts, a defining night. James Wade has qualified after that victory over Terry Jenkins, and Raymond van Barneveld has put Ronnie Baxter out of the competition with an 8-2 victory in that game. Simon Whitlock ahead of Mervyn King 5-1, and still to come Phil Taylor and Adrian Lewis. And what it means for the league table right now is this: Taylor, Whitlock and Wade are all secure at Wembley in the semi-finals. Mervyn King should get there, but he's on a -1 legs difference. Adrian Lewis on -9, and if King goes and loses this 8-1, there would still be a glimmer of hope for Lewis for his match against Taylor.
Nice to look forward to, but he's never beaten Taylor on the telly. Remind you, Taylor beat him 11-1 in the semi-final here a couple of years ago in the Premier League. But one has to talk about this amazing man from Australia who clattered through to the World Final. 7-3 to Taylor. Some amazing 100+ checkouts, Nige. Well over 20 in the whole tournament.
It's been one of those tournaments for Mervyn King where off the hockey matters have crept in, of course, with his relations with the audience up and down the country. But you can take nothing away from him. He's a fine darts player. Hasn't really hit top form in this game against Whitlock. But make no mistake, he is more than capable of winning the big tournaments on his day.
Well, look at when he came to the Premier League a year ago. Beat Martel 8-1, beat Wade 8-1. 4 on the trot to start last campaign.
Yep. Fine player. He'll be disappointed. He'll use that break to regather his thoughts. Try and kickstart his game here.
His first 9 darter at the age of 15. Used to play as Suffolk County players when he was still a lad. Oh, bad slag dart.
45.
But a poor start to this second part of the game for Mervyn King. Whitlock sat on 82. Double 16 for a wonderful 82 and a 6-1 lead. Cheeky!
Well, Adrian will be practicing harder. Taking his task against Taylor. Bit easier.
Mervyn King is now 7 legs better off than Adrian Lewis. If Lewis can beat Phil Taylor 8-1 as it stands at the moment, then it will go to legs 1 against the throw. 100. It's a tall order, we must emphasise that. A tall order. But until it's mathematically certain, then Lewis still has something to play for.
That's right. To walk out on that stage, not just for the sake of it. And remember, this was the lad, Lewis, a few weeks back, was 6-0 up on Barney in 9.5 minutes.
Storming performance.
Goose for the Barney could be goose for the Burslem Gander.
57.
Isaac the Piggy Gander. Taylor against his protege.
140.
Coming up after this.
Any game between Taylor and Lewis is worth watching. We should emphasise that again. It's going to be a terrific showdown. And
96.
Whitlock stayed down the board. King with a great chance now to go on and secure a second leg in this match.
Hasn't got the weight, Nige. Lacks the weight to the 60 in particular. Whereas this guy rarely practices trebles. Just gets that group in and that line from doubles. So again, King under the cosh. Handy, 14. Double 16. On the way out.
Now this would hurt Mervyn King, wouldn't it? Just put a little bit of concern in his mind. 108 needed for Simon Whitlock. Go treble 20, double 14, but he's not on a finish now. King surely to get his second leg on the board, Sid.
Mervyn, you require 32.
Double 16. Middle of the bench. It's Adrian task now, Nige.
-1 King now. Lewis -9. Legs difference. 8 the difference now. That's more like it for Mervyn King. Just calm the nerves, but in the context of the bigger picture, King was hoping, I'm sure,
140.
to get at least a draw out of this game, to mean that it would be Phil Taylor and James Wade in the semi-finals, and these two would meet again at Wembley in the semis.
40.
As it stands, the way it's going, it's going to be Taylor against King, Whitlock against Wade. That's the way it's shaping up.
140.
King beat Taylor last year at Wembley. Good for Mervyn. Then Barney took care of Baxter.
140.
Terrific atmosphere here in Nottingham. Crowd loving this, and Taylor Lewis still to come, remember.
57.
Some top-class darts still on the agenda tonight.
Absolutely. That's it. Now 6-0 up was
80.
Nigel. Was Adrian Roller. Nigel
64.
against Barney. Bournemouth. What a brilliant shot doing the ball.
Well, Simon Whitlock making full use of the bullseye tonight. Loves
60.
it, doesn't he? 13 double 16 for a 7-2 lead and at least a point from this game. And second place secured in the league table, double 16. He knows that he's going to finish second in the White Mackay Premier League table going to Wembley.
Game on.
So we're going to have a rematch there between Mervyn and Taylor.
60.
Merv beat Taylor in the semi last year. Adrian Lewis coming up next, confirming Taylor, Whitlock,
100.
Wade, King.
And there we see King is 7 legs better off than Adrian Lewis. If Whitlock wins this leg and goes on to win 8-2, then King will only be 6 legs better off than Adrian Lewis. An 8-2 win against Taylor for Lewis would then take it to legs 1 against the throw. It's just a shame that the young man has got Phil Taylor in his way, from his point of view. It's a tall
60.
order, it's unlikely to happen, but whilst it's mathematically possible, A.D. Lewis will have the bit between his teeth in the next game.
133.
Well, as it stands, King is ahead of Lewis on legs 1 against the throw. This man, Whitlock, has been one of the greatest
140.
success stories I've ever seen, Nigel. Saw him in Las Vegas last summer, said he wanted to be world champion. Dedicated man. Double 7 for the game. What a match! 105. You are looking at the man who will challenge Taylor on all fronts in the future. He's called Simon Whitlock.
And Adrian Lewis is 6 legs worse off than Mervyn King going into the game against Phil Taylor. So it's still mathematically possible, but it's the power and Lewis coming up next.